What's good, YouTube? Aunt Kirby here, and welcome to another video. So for this one, I had to, come in my car, pause, um, mainly because that living room's occupied right now. My dad's in there, doing his thing. So, if I sound a little weird, it's because I'm fighting a cold right now, so nose a little runny, you know. Um, but I wanted to talk. I wanted to get in deeper, more to why um, I don't do crowds, like why I don't like crowds and all that. So um, and it's not that I don't hate people or anything. It's just how I feel like when I'm around like too much. It's mainly like it's like too much um information, basically, like my brain just can't it's just too much going on, my brain can't process it, pretty much. Um like I'll give you a little short story. This one was more recent, actually. I think this was last week, or like probably was last weekend, or maybe the week before. But so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go to the mall, just to get out and just be out the house and all that. So I went there. Um, it was a big mall. It was what mall was it? I believe it was Delamo. Yeah. Um, it was huge, and since I haven't been there, like I think I've only been there like 3 times in my entire life. So like obviously I don't know my way around. So for me it's like super easy to get lost. So um, I go in. Well, first, like, just trying to find parking is a nightmare. It's pretty crazy, depending on the time you go or even day. I feel like so, but I finally get a parking spot. I go in, and I'm just like trying to explore, right? Um, so I'm like walking around, and like immediately, like I tell you what, like, as soon as I walk in, my senses are immediately overloaded. Like, and I'm not gonna lie. So like before the whole Halloween party, I felt like I could deal with crowds more better. Like, it wasn't as bad. Like I remember when I would go um to the amusement parks with the fam and all that. I would, it was crowd, but it could also be because I was actually with the fam, like with people I actually know, and I wasn't alone and stuff. That could have a factor to it, um, but still, I feel like I could handle it better. So like, I don't know. It's just when I went to that Halloween party, it's like I became a lot more. Um, it kind of like I feel like it kind of traumatized me to the point where now when I go in the crowds, especially alone, it's like I I just kind of start breaking down, not literally breaking down, but like internally. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, and I just feel like I'm being watched, like all the attention's on me, and I just, and the saying, what's the saying? You feel more alone in a crowd rather than rather than actually alone. Like, you never felt like like I've never felt more alone when in a crowd of people. That's when I feel the most alone, because I'm a homebody. I'm like pretty introverted, so I like to be in the house. that's like my sanctuary and stuff. I just be at home just chilling. Um, so and I've been alone, like I'm used to it. So like I actually like it. It's peaceful, you know. Um, it's like it can be stressful to have like friends and stuff. Probably like a lot of them. Like that's why I like to just stick with like 2 or 3 is good for me. But um, but yeah. So back to the mall story. So like I'm in there just exploring, trying to just breathe and stuff. Like I'm like pushing through it. Um, and I'm like I just can't shake the feeling like I'm just like, oh my god, like I'm gonna have to just push through. I'm just talking to myself in my head the whole time. Like just you can do this, like and then I try to distract myself by calling one of my boys and just talking to him on the phone, just checking in on him. Um and it was kind of helped a little bit, but not really, cuz for one, since it was so loud, I could barely hear him. So it's just so oh my bad, guys. Kind of forgot what I was going to say for a second, but it was just it was kind of strange. Like I kind of got a little irritated cuz it was still hard for me to hear him, but it wasn't as bad as like the Halloween party. Not um so I was able to get through it and all that. So but he was currently at work, so he couldn't be on the phone for long. So I was like, all right, bro, I'll just get back to you, or if you want to call me when you get off and all that. But so after that, I was I was alone again and stuff, and I was like, all right, let's go into this hot topic store and stuff, because I was like, I don't think a lot of people will be in there. And let's just go browse and stuff. And I go in there, and it's a lot of people in there, and I'm like, damn, I've never seen it like this before. And I'm just nervous, like like, um, I'm just uneasy and stuff. Like, basically my adrenaline, cause like so I'm the type of person where like when I go out, like whenever I see somebody, it doesn't matter if it's a guy or girl, doesn't matter. Like especially if somebody's walking behind me, I'm I get I'm the type, like my freaking senses, like be tingling, and I'm on high alert the whole time, like when just being around people I don't know. Um because I don't know what could happen. I'm always like it's kind of like the fight or flight would activate um without me even realizing, or like instinctually, now not all the time, because it depends on the environment, um but it happens and I notice it. Um so I kind of I'm not gonna say I felt the fight or flight when I was in there. It was just more like I felt too overwhelmed. So I just like browsed a little bit, and then I got out of there. And then I went to the smoothie place. I forgot the name of it. And I was like, you know what, let's just get a smoothie and just um just see what the smoothies are like. So I go up, I talk to the guy, like the cashier. Um, he like I'm not usually like I can be very social when I want to and stuff. Like I just choose, like I just prefer not to talk most of the time because, to be honest, it just takes energy to do all that shit, and I feel like I'm wasting energy if I'm like just talking to everybody. That could drain the hell out of you. Um, but basically, I'm talking to the guy, and since I'm so overloaded, I seem a little bit more. I'm a lot more nervous and probably like a little bit more stuttery, and a little more timid and stuff. I feel like, and then this big freaking guy, this big guy, big black guy, like he came up, take my order, um, and I felt a little scared. I'm not gonna lie, like just a little bit, cause he was like taller than me and all that. Attractive dude too. He was attractive. Um, but I was just like, all right, let's just. I ordered my drink, and I had to just stand there and wait while just people just walked past me, and it was just the most uncomfortable feeling I've felt in a long time. Because I'm just standing there with my arms crossed, just trying to act like I'm occupied, like just doing my own thing. I didn't have my phone out because I don't want to be, um, I'm trying to get rid of that habit. You know how whenever you're like walking, especially if you're alone and you're walking, and you like there's somebody in front of you like walking towards you, and you guys have to walk past each other, and you get nervous, so you pull out your phone instinctually to act like you're doing something, or you're on your phone, so you don't have to look at that person or accidentally lock eyes with that person. um so I'm trying to get, and I used to do that a lot. I still do actually, but I'm trying to get out of that habit. um at least like without pulling the phone out, I'll just look the other way, and if I already lock eyes with that person, I'll just give a little nod or a little smile or whatever, and just keep it pushing. So, um, but so eventually they finish my drink. I get my drink, and it's not bad. They asked me if I wanted protein, and I was like, sure, let's get that. I could definitely taste it, but it was pretty good, but it was too much for me though. Like, um, like when, cause I've been the type, um, to I'm not big on sweet stuff. Like I prefer like more salty stuff. So like I would take chips over candy like any day. Um, but cause basically and this is how I've always been. Like when my mom was pregnant with me, like she says basically when she was pregnant with me, like she just craved um Big Burger a lot. Like she liked burgers, fries, and um everything with salt, like anything salty, or you know, just a lot of junk, I would say. Um like she never, and then when it came to eating like cake and ice cream, she hated it. Like she could not do it. Um so that's just how I've always been, even since since then. So, and even now, like I mean, I'll eat ice cream. Like I actually love ice cream, but I can't have too much of it, or else I get sick of stuff quickly. So like especially if it's too sweet. So that's the thing with the smoothie. It was pretty sweet. It was a nice blend, but since they gave me so much, you know, I started to get sick of it. I think I only got it halfway down or a little below half, and then I was like, all right, I'm done with this. Like I can't keep drinking this because it's starting to get on my nerves now. So, and it's starting to get a little too much now. Um but yeah, I'm just walking around. I continue to walk around, and I'm like, okay, I think it's time to go because I've had enough at that point. And I'm just like, as at least we got out and all that. So So I'm trying to get back to my car, and the thing is, I parked pretty far away. Think cause the store I wanted to go to, I couldn't. I thought it was on that end, but it wasn't. So I had to. I don't know if you guys, those of you that live in this area, in the area, like it, if you've been to the mall, obviously, if you guys know about the how the Macy's specifically, like there's one how it's connect like one side of the mall is connected via the Macy's. So to get to the other side without going outside, you will have to go through the Macy's to get to the other side of the mall, like the bigger side, bigger end of it. So I was trying to get back to the other side because that's where my car was. So like my car was like it was pretty much outside the well, what store is that called? Uh why can't I remember the store? I think it's like Dick's Sporting Goods. Yeah, that store. Um so so yeah, I'm trying to find my way back, and then I go into the wrong Macy's not even knowing it. Cuz I'm like, "Wait, why is there two separate Macy's?" And mind you, it's multiple floors cuz this is a big ass mall. So I'm lost and shit, and I'm like, I feel awkward because I feel like, oh shit, like, because I'm just going in circles at this point. So I'm like, okay, these people are going, these people are probably seeing me multiple times, and they're probably thinking to themselves, like, oh shit, what the fuck is this dude doing? Like, is this dude okay? This shit, like, I was just, you know, I was just hoping that they didn't notice and shit. So, and I was just lost for a hot minute, guys. Like, um, I was like, just going in circles and all that. And, like, when you guys just see, like, like, when you're single and stuff, and you guys, you're having a good day, but then you see you come across a couple, and then you just get reminded that you don't have anyone and shit. I fucking hate that. I bet a lot of you guys can relate to that, cause I fucking hate it, cause I'm not with anyone right now. So, but yeah, I just thought I'd throw that in there, cause I did come across a couple in there, and it kind of made me feel that way. But anyway, so eventually, so I got outside because I just couldn't find my way to the Macy's. So I got outside the Macy's, and then I walked through the parking lot, and then there were these two old ladies just staring at me, bro, like smiling the whole time, and that shit made me feel like it just made me feel like nervous, and like it was kind of creepy to me because I'm like, why are they like they stopped, because they didn't park, mind you. They're just stopped in the middle of the road, just staring me down, just smiling and shit. And I see them in the corner. I see them in the corner of my eyes, right? And but I'm not looking directly at them. I'm just looking straight, but I could see them, in the corner of my shits, man. So, and I'm just like, just keep walking, and maybe they thought my car was around there, so they were probably waiting for me to get in the car and and pull out so they could have a spot, because there were no spots like available. But once I walked past their car, they drove away. So I was like, okay. And then I went up this stairway that seemed promising, I guess. But it didn't. It looked a little off because when I got it, for one, it was extremely dirty. Didn't seem like anyone's been up there in years. So I was like, wait, is this the right way? And no, because when I got up, like I was just met with two like rusted doors that were, obviously locked, and I was like, okay, this is the wrong way. I felt embarrassed about that, so I was like, all right, let me hurry up and get down from here. And then I ended up going back into the Macy's, and then I was like, okay, I gotta figure this shit out. Like, where the fuck do I go from here? Like, isn't this the same Macy's I came, I came through to get over here. And then it eventually clicks, and I'm like, I start to remember shit, and I backtrack, and I'm like, no, I'm not even close. So, eventually I find my way back, through like the food court area, and I'm like, okay, there's two of them. So I get back there, I go through it, and um, I eventually make my way out. And I tell you, like, I had like the biggest celebration in my head, like internally, like like on the outside, I was just, I just looked normal, like, like nonchalant or whatever. But inside, like, I was celebrating. I was like, yes, yes, finally, like shit like that. Um, just, just like, oh my god, like, I thought, I finally made it out of that hell, man. Like, I was, and I felt like I could finally breathe, because it felt like my body was just holding its breath, like the whole time I was in there. So I'm like, I get out, that's when I throw the smoothie away, because I'm like, okay, I'm done with this. And I paid, how much did I pay for that? I think I paid like $8. That's pretty fucking expensive, I would say. But so I throw it away, and I get in my car, and I'm like, okay. And I'm like, I've never been so happy to see my car and just jump in it and ride out. I felt like I've reached, my safe haven, basically. So I got in my car, and I was like, all right, let's get the fuck out of here. Yeah, I was talking to my car, and like, yeah, you can call me weird, like, fuck it, I don't give a fuck. Yeah, I was like, all right, Mizuki, let's get out of here. Yeah, that's her name. But yeah, so I get out, head back home, and I'm just like, and then that's when I come to the realization, that I feel more, hyper, what would you call it? Like, what would you call it? More like hyper aware about how I get around crowds now. And I think what triggered me to be even more hyper aware is when I went to that Halloween party in the last video. If you guys, if you guys didn't want to hear about that, like, go back to and watch that video if you didn't. But, and yeah, it was crazy. But yeah, so that's when I realized, and I had to. That's when I talked to my dad, and I asked him about it, and he was like, nah, he doesn't feel that way. And then I was like, okay, then who? So I went to go talk to my mom. I went to her house, went to talk to her, and she was like, yeah, she felt the same way. So I'm like, okay, so that must be why I'm like this, because she passed it on to me, because she's pretty much the same way. Like, she's a big homebody as well, like me. Like, she doesn't like to, I want to say she doesn't like going out, but she just prefers not to. Like, she likes to be comfortable in the house and all that. But yeah, so I was just, trying to find out where I got that from, because it just fascinated me, and then I would watch videos on it, and the crazy part is that I would literally just be on YouTube scrolling, right, and I would get hit with videos like, oh, like, why people don't like crowds, and I'm like, bro, this is, what the fuck, like, this is literally me. They're talking to me. Like, did God send me this? Like that. Like, I was freaking shocked. So, but I clicked that shit, and I was watching, and I was like, yo, this shit is me. This shit, like this is literally me, bro. So So yeah, and it was a good video. And I also saw more like it. And it's a very interesting concept, but I'm like, okay, I'm one of these people. Cause at first I thought like something was wrong with me, like maybe like, um, is this like people like on the spectrum, and even my dad suspected that, and I was like, nah, I'm not on the spectrum, like, and nah, cause it's not, it's actually a normal, it's a normal thing. It's just um for like certain types of people, not on the spectrum, I will say, but just certain types of people, like um that don't like crowds, because I feel like it's a balance. That you have your people who don't thrive in crowds, and then you have your people that thrive in crowds and chaos and all that shit. Like, I'm the type of person, I need to have control over my environment. Like, I like more quiet, controlled environments and stuff, because that's where I can thrive. But I can't thrive in chaotic crowds and just, oh, like a lot of shit going on at once. Like, I can't do that. So, but so I just want to talk about that, get more deeper into that, um, and I'll end it there. So, if you guys enjoyed the video, or if you made it to the end of the video, if you made it to the end of the video, make sure you sing that like button like a bee, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Until next time, guys.